In this video, we'll be looking at the different mechanisms which are available in the VE for implementing thermal bridging. These are all based on international standards and guides required for compliance. The VE User Guide provides more detail on each of these thermal bridging mechanisms. Clearfield or repeating transmittances are uniformly distributed secondary structural components in construction assemblies, such as brick walls with ties, framing, studs, rafters, etc. To include these in our model, we first need to enable composite layers in our constructions. Then, we can insert the composite layer in the construction layer buildup. This shows us a row with the composite properties, with rows below it for the component parts, which are described by their percentage area within the composite layer. All we then need to do is to assign the construction to our model geometry for these to be applied. Linear non-repeating transmittances, by their nature, cannot be applied in the same way. For these, we use the Thermal Bridging tab of the User Preferences at the start of a project to choose what convention to use to derive the psi value when taking off linear non-repeating transmittances, as this varies for the different standards. We need to choose between the simple method or the psi value for linear non-repeating transmittances. They cannot both be used together. Both are then edited in the Thermal Bridging tab of each construction. The simple method uses an overall coefficient. This is a simple allowance for non-repeating thermal bridging that is defined on the Thermal Bridging tab of the construction. It allows for internal thermal bridging, and it's usually used for compliance purposes or in early design stages when psi values are not yet known. We use the more detailed linear non-repeating transmittances once the psi values are known. These thermal bridges occur primarily at junctions in the building envelope, such as at corners and the junctions between any combination of floors, walls, roofs, balconies, etc. They are defined by psi values on the Thermal Bridging tab of each relevant construction. The psi value is a measure of how much heat is expected to be lost through a particular junction. It can be set by choosing from defaults, in accordance with many different standards, or by inputting custom values. The VE automatically references the model geometry and applies guiding rules to calculate the linear dimensional information. This output value is then multiplied across the total length of a junction to create a total junction psi value. All of the details for the different calculations and the conventions for which thermal bridge is applied and what color it is displayed in are outlined in the user guide. If we switch to Model It, we can activate the thermal bridging view. This lets us see the junction locations overlaid on the model geometry, indicating where the different lengths are taken off. Each thermal bridging type has a fixed color that will be displayed on the model. We can also add non-repeating thermal bridges if needed by using the option for random transmittances. Random thermal bridging transmittances occur in the building envelope as a result of specific features, such as structural components or penetrations, which have got a different thermal conductivity to the surrounding construction. Random transmittances can be defined as area, linear, or point types to reflect the design detail. We need to switch to Model It to add these to the geometry at surface level, as area, linear, or point types. Then we switch to Apache, where we go to the constructions and create specific construction types via the random thermal bridging tool. For each type, we set properties, including the random thermal bridge type and psi or chi value. The Assign Constructions tool makes it easy to assign these random thermal bridge types to their geometry objects, just as we do for any constructions. Once all of the thermal bridges have been created and the constructions assigned, we proceed to our simulation. Thermal bridging is automatically included in the Apache thermal simulations and ASHRAE and SIBC loads within the VE. There is an option when running a simulation to turn on the detailed outputs for thermal bridging to view these in Vista Pro. With this selected, once a simulation has been run, Vista Pro now includes detailed room variables to investigate the impact of each or all of these thermal bridges on the model energy balance. The different room and surface variables are all defined in the user guide. In this video, we looked at how to use the different thermal bridging options in the VE and see the results. For further hints and tips, please check out our other Tech Tips videos. Thanks for watching.